Hi, here we are again. Hello. We're talking about Francis Bacon this week in his writing on the four idols and the inductive method of the Novum Organum. Let's talk a little bit about Francis Bacon. He was born in 1561 in England. He was an English professor. He's a statesman, a scientist, and a writer, of course. You know, he's best known for developing the scientific method based on the empirical observation and inductive reasoning. He died in 1626, but previously he wrote on the Novum Organum, the advancement of the learning and the new Atlantis. So we'll talk about the four idols that Bacon identifies that he saw that was distorting the human understanding as he knew it. The idols of the tribe, which was the human nature. Bacon, he looks at these as they were errors common to the entire human species, right? You know, humans see more than it really exists, as he looked at it, as we impose our own expectations. You know, it's kind of like seeing patterns or causes where there are none. One of the other idols was the idols of the cave. Individual upbringing, education, experiences. He was looking at, you know, each person interprets the world through their own cave or lens, you know, leading to subjective distortions. You know, like a scholar maybe who overvalues classical learning. You know, he may dismiss evidence that contradicts his tradition. One of the other idols, the third one, is the idols of the marketplace, the language and social communication. You know, words often are not accurately captured in reality, Bacon was stating. You know, he said the miscommunication and the ambiguous terminology, they create confusion in the scientific discourse. An example of that, you know, it's kind of like using vague or metaphorical language in science. The fourth idol was the idol of theater, the philosophical systems and dogmas. You know, these are the false teachings and the ideologies, you know, passed down, kind of like blind acceptance of the Aristotelian or scholastic doctrines. You know, Bacon, his inductive method, you know, he was stating a systematic observation, you know, where he gathers data on the tables of the presence, the absence, and degrees, you know, where he analyzes when it does or does not. He looked at the eliminate error to remove irrelevant factors through negativity, interpretation of nature to develop scientific laws for observations. He also was looking at the iterative testing, where it reassesses the conclusions with further experiments. I think that one plus that we could look at, strength was the foundation of modern science, was the implementing the hypothesis testing and observation, doing with his experimentations, you know, over reason. I think that's very beneficial. You know, the psychological insight of the four idols is relevant in identifying cognitive basis, right? The vision, the vision, seeing the science. I like this one, the science as a tool for improving human life and controlling nature. The only thing that I could see that would be something negative that I looked at, or weakness. I believe he could have maybe have appreciated math a little bit better, because it is used in physics and science. Overall, the call for careful observation and the systematic methodology and the resistance to the dogma definitely turns it towards modern scientific worldview today. I got 2 questions real quick. Which of Bacon's 4 idols do you think poses the greatest threat to objective thinking today? And question 2, in what ways can we apply Bacon's method of careful observation and elimination to everyday decision making or problem solving?